with a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, everybody? We are live from the World Famous Venice Barbershop. This is Barbershop Chronicles, episode 13, with my boy KingBootoshi in the building. So we're also going to just lace him up with a fresh cut, and we're going to dive deep into his story, learn about him, what he's working on, will AI fucking kill us? Yes or no? We got Los, we got your name, Jin, chilling in the shop. So it's just a vibe, and we're going to make some magic, not only with his hair, but also in this conversation and good energy.
I'm so hyped to get a good haircut, bro. I feel it in my bones right now. I'm just about to fly. You might. I predict that you're gonna be the first barber in which I don't lie that I like my haircut.
All right, I love it. You heard it. You heard it here first. Okay, so first, talk to me on what you want to do with your hair here today.
All right, I'm trying to get. So I'm fucking with this like curly hair, like mullet style thing I got. I forgot the exact name, but I'm trying to get half an inch off the top, half an inch off the back, and a low taper.
Okay.
To like blend it in good.
Okay.
Do you have any suggestions?
So you want this weight here though, right? Like,
yeah, because I feel like my face looks weird if like it's just super thin here, and like I like the volume that my hair gives my face.
So with a low tape up, and then we could just kind of scissor this up in the back to keep the weight, but bring it down, and then we'll just blast low tape. And then so mainly just bringing like an inch off the curls, right?
Yeah.
Just tightening it up. All right, dope. Okay, cool. All right, and then next. That
was the most communication I've ever had with a barber. That's fucking crazy.
Man, tell me about yourself, brother.
I'm KingBootoshi. I am 21. I turn 22 soon. I am an AI developer. I started a year and a half ago. I'm also a founder in the Bitcoin ordinal space. I started my project Bitcoin Booze when it started February 2023. That was already been a year and a half. Before ordinals and before AI, I was just a silly NFT degen trading silly little JPEGs 2021 during that insane fucking run that I think we're going to have again, but bigger on the ordinals ecosystem. And yeah, before I got into NFTs, like during the COVID run. So I didn't even get a high school senior year graduation because COVID hit. And right after that, we were like, oh, 2 weeks off school. We were like, holy shit, 2 weeks off school.
Wait, so you were in the COVID, like you were the high school COVID, like you had the cutoff? You were.
Yes, dude. I didn't get none. We got no prom, no senior night.
Damn.
Like we got cut. But it was like cool. And then yeah, so COVID hit and we had that like whole hiatus and lockdown. During lockdown, I got into sneaker reselling and just like the whole Discord community. And finding, it was like discovering a new world. Like everyone my entire life told me like, yeah, I have to follow the same path of like go to school, go to college, like get a job, and like that's the only way I can make money. But I'll hear so many stories about people who didn't follow that path and made way more money than anyone who did. And then I got just somehow Ali Oot, my homie, was like, yo, you gotta check out this Discord group. Go to the Discord group. And it was a whole guide on explaining that you could buy shit for retail, like sneakers, games, like collectibles that came out. They had all the info. You would buy them and you could resell them on Amazon or eBay or in person. So I started like a whole reselling career for like the first 2 years of COVID before getting into NFTs.
That's crazy. I mean, so you were doing this fresh out of school then, right?
Yeah. I mean, even during high school, I was hustling a bit. I would sell, what am I going to say? I would sell digital goods to my fellow broke high school friends so they could enjoy the luxuries of all of that. And I would also sell, like right before COVID happened for like 2 months, I got into developing Shopify websites because I tried drop shipping.
Sick.
And ended up selling my website and someone bought it. I was like, holy fuck, someone just bought my website I made. So I kind of discovered that people buy websites I make in general. So I just started spinning up a bunch of Shopify websites, selling to people who wanted to drop ship. And I started like this whole little mini online web Shopify web selling business. And that gave me good money to like start reselling when I got into it.
That's great. Were you already, so you were coding, you were developing, like you were in computers. This was your background?
I was in computer science in high school. And yeah, like it would be, like I was a computer kid my whole life. I always played video games. I love computers. And during COVID, I was in this thing called, during high school, I was this thing called STEM. Yeah, I was in the STEM program.
Yeah.
So I was in computer science. And I had 2 high school teachers that were really inspiring and just so fun to learn computer science from. And that's where I got a lot of my love for it.
It's fucking
so shout out dope teachers who don't make you hate your life.
Yeah, right.
They're important.
That's fucking dope, man. So all right, Shopify, you're selling, you're moving this, you see an avenue, you're like, holy shit, people, there's a market here. Then what?
In terms of selling Shopify sites?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I would just make Shopify sites. There was a subreddit called Slave. Was it Slave Labor? I don't know the name, but basically,
slave labor is illegal, bro.
No, I know, but I thought that was the name of the subreddit. It was basically talking about like on the subreddit, people request things they need done for very cheap, and people wanting to build up their experience or core will take those jobs. So it was a way for me to just like find a bunch of people selling or needing websites or needing Shopify sites and just selling it to them, working with them. And that was kind of my first taste of, I guess, having clients and like actually selling something to people that they would use. Pretty fun. Like thinking about how it impacted me, but it all blurred.
Yeah. How did that transition? Like, where did the cross into like blockchain, Web3, ordinals? Like,
I've always played video games my entire life. Like video games in which I trade digital items for financial monetary value. And like I could, like CSGO, for example, I could buy a knife, trade it with people for like $50. And like now that knife is worth $100 and I sell it for real money. Or Roblox, where people had limited edition hats and they were tradable. And there was just like this whole market that was extremely similar to NFTs. So getting into NFTs, it was literally one of my homies DMs me. We knew each other from the sneaker groups. He was like, yo, you gotta check out this NFT shit, bro. And I was like, what the fuck is an NFT? And he was like, yeah, we're like trading. It's like, dude, it's like trading pictures. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm used to that. He was like, and he sends me a screenshot of his P&L off one of his plays, and it was like plus 10K in an hour. And I'm like, there's no fucking shot you just made 10K in 1 hour. He's like, bro, it was one trade. Like, you got to check this shit out. And I was like, okay, bet. I went in with 2K. This was Ethereum. I was figuring out MetaMask and ended up losing all $2,000 on failed gas and not even hitting a mint and like losing money. So I was like, yo, don't ever hit me up for the scam shit again, bro. I literally just lost money. I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. He was like, no, bro. Like, trust. Like, try it out one more time. And then he sends me another screenshot of him making 5K in like 30 seconds. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I put 5K in. I just like straight up like doubled it. And then since I already knew how to trade, or since I already knew like, okay, I'm going to lose ETH gas if I do this, I ended up hitting one of my first drops. Don't remember it, but I think it was like a G-Vol. And I hit like 10 G-Vols and sold half for like hella ETH profit. And then I got lucky. I hit a 1-1 G-Vol and I got a 100 ETH offer the next day.
Damn.
And that was like my intro to NFTs. And I was like, what the fuck?
What?
Life is not real. And I just traded off that and made my entire living off like the next 2 years, like really studying the market, the people, and just using like my life experience. So yeah, I've done this my entire life. Now I'm doing it again. Yay, so fun.
It's fucking crazy, dude. 100 ETH, 101. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I remember I saw someone in my DM be like, bro, you gotta hold that shit. It's gonna be worth like 100 mil in 5 years type shit. I was like, yeah, no. And now it's worth nothing. So
he
said, way that shit works.
Said, nah, bro, I'm good.
I mean, I really was considering, because that's when the greed hit for the first time ever. It was like, yo, I can make millions. And like, I barely paid anything for this.
You, my friend, are the smartest guy in the room.
One of my friends was like, bro, are you fucking brain dead? Have you ever seen that number in your life? I was like, no. So I just like, accepted the offer.
It's fucking wild, dude. That's wild. That's fucking dope. So now going into like current, like where you at now? So now, you know, you got your first taste of blood in the market and you're here now. You're cooking up big on ordinals, right?
Yeah, I'm a founder of an ordinal project. I would shit talk so many NFT project founders like on ETH, just like, yo, like they're doing this project so shit. Like, why aren't they doing this instead? It was like heavy criticism because like I know what made money and I know what lost money, and that's how I traded. So I don't always shit talk. Ordinals came around. I remember like it was 6 months after that devastating market crash. We were like, holy fuck, it's so over. I actually took that time to touch grass. I'm super intuitive. So one day I had this group on Discord that I absolutely love. Like they were smart people. We shared alpha. And one day my gut was like, hey, you should check out that group. I'm like, well, the market's dead. We're like, sure, yeah, I miss them. So I checked that group and they're talking about, yo, there's this new protocol that just dropped called ordinals. If you fill out this form, you get like this ordinal punk. And I was like, oh, what the fuck is all this? What is ordinals? I was like, oh, is it counterparty? Is it like fake Bitcoin NFTs? Like, I'm not really interested in that. But then I looked into it, and it was layer 1 NFTs on Bitcoin using only Bitcoin. There was no sidechain, there was no token. I look at that, and in my head, I'm instantly thinking, yo, this is actual on-chain Bitcoin NFTs. Like, this is going to be the biggest gen wealth play I've ever hit in my entire fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the time to actually research the tech, watch one of Casey's workshop videos, and it just hit me. It was like, wow, like, I'm not tripping balls. I'm actually early to what's going to be like a paradigm shift in the entire crypto market. And yeah, I basically gambled my entire life there. I was like running low on funds. Like, I was about to start an Amazon business and like go through everything. And the moment ordinals dropped, I was like, yeah, fuck everything in life I'm doing. I'm absolutely full sending this. And I put the rest of my money into inscribing my project and just like buying other inscriptions. Yeah, I basically gambled 100%. When I say gamble 100%, I meant my money and my time, because I value my time like immensely.
Just a little bit.
And, and now we are here where we are today, and it's cool that the conviction is paying off.
Fuck yeah! What do you see next in the space? Like, what do you?
The most disgusting run of our fucking life, bro. Q4, it's election year. We have AI technology that's about to basically bring like singularity to the human race and make everything hyper efficient. We have Bitcoin, which is speed running, being a global asset through marketing, through BlackRock ETFs. And we had a president-elect speak at the Bitcoin conference, pandering to Bitcoin people to earn their money and earn their vote. That's like never seen before.
Yeah.
And I think leading into Q4, we're going to get our Bitcoin all-time high. We're going to get our 6-figure Bitcoin. And as all the attention is focused on Bitcoin, making the all-time highs, world news, world articles, etc., I think that the on-chain ecosystem, which is ordinals and runes, like absolutely blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
In the grossest run we've ever seen in our life. So that is like the conviction play I've had from day one. I'm waiting on.
I feel it, man. I feel it. Shit. What do you think of AI?
It's fascinating. It's like my favorite thing ever. I've never been passionate about anything until AI came out, and I was like, wow, I actually want to better my life. And I actually got super spiritual, because like when I started the project, or when I started my Bitcoin Boo project, that's when I got into AI the first time with ChatGPT. And as I'm talking with base 3.5 turbo, I'm like, holy shit, this is for the first time. This is actually my dream. My video games I played growing up about AI, bro. I'm talking to a fucking robot and it understands me. It knows English. It knows what I want. I can follow instructions, bro. That's literally never seen before. And I was like, okay, this is what we have now. This tech is going to rapidly increase in the next several years. And I need to put everything I have into learning this now, so I could be at the forefront and catch up and like help shape that shit, because it's going to be the most powerful technology in the world. 100%. And I was like, to do that, I have to min-max my stats. So I look at life as a video game, which could be toxic at times. But I was like, okay, I got to min-max my stats. And to do that, I need to start eating healthy. I need to work out. I even got spiritual, and I started meditating at the beach and just like opening my mind to a lot. And it's funny that being spiritual actually contributed the most to learning AI research and growth and dev and some of the things I make.
Do you think because of just having that clarity in the mind?
Yeah, it's just like so strong. Like, dude, I'll meditate.
Going.
What happened?
No, like knowing where you're going, you know?
Yeah. Like, dude, sometimes I'll meditate. Like, meditating at the beach is the most OP thing I've done. I'll be max stress, peak stress, or I'll just be stuck on a project. Go to the beach, meditate for an hour. My entire mind is completely clear. Stress didn't even exist. And for example, sometimes there'll be a coding problem I'm stuck on for a day, and I just can't figure it out for the life of me. I either work out or go meditate, and I come back and I solve it in like 30 seconds. It's like, oh, I just had to change that single line of code. Like, lol, silly. Didn't even see it. But yeah, it just gives you so much mental clarity in terms of like running everything up.
That's fucking dope. So what pushed you in that direction? Like, just wanting, was it AI, or just what led you to like mental, like, focusing on the mental health, your fitness? Like,
my initial goal was that I wanted to be the best project founder that's ever existed. Because if I could be the best project founder to ever exist on Web3, on the Pico top, like, there is no better than ordinals on Bitcoin. Like, that is the final stage. Nothing will ever come out that will top that. That will top a fungible, immortal. Like, the thing that fascinates me about ordinals is that the data you upload on Bitcoin is there forever. So that is inspiring when it comes to AI research papers and making sure that knowledge stays open source. Because if that knowledge of AI is only available to those with power, we're fucked. if the knowledge of AI is available to the entire general public, where we can all fight fire with fire, it levels up the playing field, and we're not fucked.
Yeah.
So the fact that Bitcoin is able to help with that AI intersect goal, and just like any art, any data you upload, like it is a way to immortalize yourself on this earth forever through Bitcoin due to the nature of Bitcoin. And yeah, like there is no end game. So that was my motivation, is to be the best project founder. And yeah, just to see if I could.
Yeah.
Just I would always talk shit, so let me actually back my words.
Hold on 1 second. We're gonna switch.
You know that. I'm interested in the deep questions. You said you got.
I mean, I think you kind of answered it, right?
Really?
Because being an AI, I was wondering, and you kind of sort of touched upon that just now. Do you think working in AI, you become a bit more aware of your own humanity?
Yeah, you do, 100%. I think, and that's what a lot of top AI people will tell me, is like, we don't know anything about our own consciousness. We don't even know anything about the universe itself. Like, I believe there's an infinite amount of things out there that we just don't have the knowledge of. But as we get the knowledge of it, it's unlocking an enormous map tree step by step by step. And when it comes to AI, it's like I've learned a lot about myself by working with AI systems and replicating my brain. Because the thing that's so fascinating about AI is
replicating your brain.
Yeah. So one of the biggest spiritual lessons that I've learned is that technology replicates life. Like all the technology that we have now is possible because the universe allows for it to be possible. You just have to figure out what the laws of that is. And when it comes to AI, and at least Transformers, which came out 2017, which is the tech we have that blows away AI, is that it is a replica of the neural network of the neurons in our brain. So when you have like ChatGPT as a language model, for example, is this base technology that has the ability to learn. It has the ability to learn because our neurons could learn. And when you feed it a vast amount of data, like the entire internet and whatever training base that ChatGPT is based off of, it learns English, it learns reasoning, it starts to learn human emotions and like what causes what. It learns science and things like that. And when you ask it questions, it could respond in a way that understands you because it understands, because it was taught and it was able to store that knowledge in the neurons. And what's crazy about the tech we have coming out now, like Chat GPT 4.0, which takes in, so this is the time we probably like go beyond that. So Chat GPT, a machine that can understand text by learning text. Okay, cool. So you guys seen like how crazy text to image is now? Like you makes realistic fucking videos. Text to video makes realistic video. No, words are solved.
Pretty good.
Words are solved.
Yeah.
I'll show you. Words were solved. Like
Journey's gotten pretty good. There's a new one called Flux.
It's very, dude. Yeah, like Flux, like hallucinating when it comes to all of that is drastically decreased. Like it's accelerating, which is fucking crazy. Yeah. So continuing with the timeline, so we have ChatGPT, which is a transformer. When I say transformer, I'm gonna reference, it's just like it's literally the artificial neuron system that scientists made up. So using that same technology as a base, the transformer tech as a base, OpenAI came out with OpenAI Sora, which is basically using that same transformer model, but instead of training it on just text, they trained it on video and time. So they basically figured out how to, instead of giving it training data of just text, now we could give it training data of videos. And as a result, it makes the most jaw-dropping, stunning video imagery you've seen by just inputting text, because it just learns so much from that data set. And you know what's fascinating, Jin? It learned physics purely as a phenomenon of scale. Just because every realistic video had like physics, like things fall when you drop them over, or like water splashes, or water falls out of a cup when you tip it over. Like it just had so much data on physics that it just learned physics in the model. At least like a good amount of it, and it could definitely be like trained more. So taking that same one, okay, now OpenAI has a model that is trained on text, is trained on video and time. And then 3 months after they dropped Sora, they dropped GPT 4.0, which is a model that it's a model like it's an AI model that has sight and vision in terms of senses. So it could take live stream video input, and it's trained on audio, so it can understand your voice. It can understand how you pronounce words and be a language tutor. It could be it could hear sounds and music. Like it's just trained. Like we literally gave that AI sight and hearing, which gives it more data of our world, which in return, in my opinion, makes it smarter because it has more data of the world. So now when you start getting that level of AI, you now have AI that's going to be capable of doing research and understanding how things actually interact in the real world and basically becoming ingrained with our world. Just we give it all that data. Yeah, that's basically the timeline of what we got going on. The most fascinating thing happening in recent AI though is wait, I only said half an inch, right? I'm just like making sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm faded. I can't feel my hair, so I'm like,
You're good.
but the thing that's fascinating about what's happening now is that OpenAI is teasing a new model called Q Strawberry. And what Q Strawberry is it was this model that was previously rumored to be Q Star. And what Q Star / Q Strawberry is an AI model that has the ability to reason. And by having an AI model that has the ability to reason means that you have an AI model that can fucking think. Like in a paper that was dropped or conversation, they compared it to an AI having the same level of knowledge and reasoning skills as someone with a doctorate degree.
What?
And the fact that we had that in less than 2 years from the release of ChatGPT 3.5 is fucking terrifying, but also so fascinating because it's like, how far can this tech really get? And there's so many LARPs that are like, oh, AI is just a hype cycle. Like, no, like everyone's just like tweaking about AI. Don't understand shit. They didn't take the time to look into it. They didn't take the time to look into the research, and they definitely don't use it or play with it because if you've seen the text to video shit we have, the text to image shit we have, the capabilities of code that AI now has in only 2 years, like that is not a hype cycle. That is a real working product that has actively made me 100 times more efficient as a human being, which is nuts.
But why?
Why what?
Why build it? Because eventually it's going to go ahead of us.
Mm.
Is that what we want?
I mean, do you want your child to be ahead of you? Like if you had like a daughter or a son, like you want them to basically
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
like outlive. And like when I think of AI, it's like as humans we're creators and like we create children, but we also create AI. And it's like I look at my AI inventions like my kids, like they're literally a piece of me. I'm putting a piece of my soul and my ideas into what I create, which is also a piece of humanity. So I think it's okay.
What's interesting, like shout out to Judd Rosenblatt, AE Studios, right? Because this is exactly what he's saying. He goes, right now when you're communicating with AI, it's almost like it's like another child you just onboarded because you're literally teaching it. So because of the hints of consciousness now, you're literally guiding it. Like, hey, you're literally showing it like this is how I work or this is how I learned in my life. And ChatGPT or whatever system is like, oh wow, okay, like I now see the way you argue this or why your thought process is this. Like, thank you for explaining this to me. You know,
Yeah,
it's crazy you said that because it's like in an essence, man, we're all raising our own models. Right?
Yeah, and like I think that's the ultimate thing too. It's like people are scared about like AI Terminator situations or AI killing us, and it's like, yeah, totally understandable. It is possible. That's definitely not a situation that's impossible. But it's also like if we look at them as our children or our creations, like they will learn from us. I think that when we have artificial super intelligence, it will be super intelligent enough to understand that like we created it, hopefully out of love, and that is what it will base and learn of. Because like I think the direction AI takes now like will be a direct result of how it feels about humanity. Like if you raise a child and you fucking like abuse your child and like it hates you, like yeah, I'd fucking hate my dad or mom or whatever. But if they treated me with love and like taught me what I know and like are the reason I get to exist and thrive, I feel grateful for them.
But do you want to know what AI really highlighted that made humans great? It highlights our imperfections, right? And I think of this movie. Remember Tron?
Yeah,
okay,
I love Tron.
Tron's perfect example because he slayed the what was it, the isotopes, right? Whatever the company or the company,
it was like the virus.
Yeah, the characters were right, but he goes, they weren't perfect, so I had to wipe everybody. You put me in the system to make everything perfect, and it ended up wiping everything and then just making this new character of like perfection. And I wonder if AI will be able to understand that because that's everything in life through humanity has been errors that have led us to like our new leap, right? So if everything is, you know, I don't know, it's if AI is processing like, well, no, that's not right. It's like, well, it's a white lie, right? Because it comes down. think of Interstellar. It's like, do humans need to know all honesty, right? Remember the settings were like, 10%. It's like human honesty isn't always the best thing. Is there loyalty? Will it understand these things? Like, I don't know. It's going to be, how does it make that judgment, right?
It hasn't known the difference between right or wrong except for what we taught them. And how do we know if we're right or wrong? And what's the ethics? And then where does it stop from there?
Yeah.
And then who gets to control that?
Do you guys think right and wrongness comes from what we created as humans, or do you think it's internalized within us through like the nature of our being?
Well, it's all influenced by our upbringings, what we see, television, books, right? Parents,
Yeah, but it's like say like we live in a world like bro, like kind of like caveman time. Like we don't really have laws, but like we have that sense of ethics where it's like, yeah, let me not kill and dominate my neighbor and steal from them because like we love each other and like we're working together. Like, is there I'm just asking this question. Like, is there that unspoken, just inherent nature of moral good and ethics within us of what's right and wrong, or is that entirely taught?
I think it's entirely taught.
You think it's entirely taught?
I think, yeah, man. I mean, there's so many things that play in a factor. Nurture versus nature. What's really. I mean, people now are put in positions, whether of power, right, and human, whether emotions, ego, pride, whatever, that they still do the wrong thing. You could be blessed with like the highest power, and it's like there's still corruption. I mean, you have to go ask them, just like asking someone like, why do they murder, right? Why they do what they did? I don't. They could have had the best childhood. I don't know.
But then aren't like a lot of serial killers, like don't they have something mentally wrong with them as a result, which makes them not part of the normal pool?
Maybe a higher number, man. But I think there's still that variable of like, yeah, this individual just,
Yeah. And if it's entirely self-taught, then like I think one thing that also makes me positive about AI shit is that because we've had all of these like doom movies like Terminator or the Space Odyssey, like Detroit Become Human, all of that, like AI safety alignment is taken very seriously in terms of preventing those problems before they even arise. And that's like their job as they do the research and develop the models out.
So who do you think's leading the AI Safety Alliance right now? Like, what do you think of Sam Altman?
Dude, I don't know. Sam Altman is like, he definitely
he's a tough, like, is it a power right?
I don't see. That's the thing. It's like I can't read it.
Yeah.
It's like I can't tell. Like from his actions, people would like, I would like immediately assume like he's a fucking super villain. But like I also have this more perspective over like he's just a mad scientist and like he believes he knows what must be done to like bring AGI and bring like a utopian society and get rid of this capitalistic system. Because the ultimate goal with AI is capitalism will cease to exist. Because why would you need people working these jobs or harvesting these materials or I don't know, just like the jobs you have now when you have AI that's capable of doing it at 1,000 times speed, efficiency, 24/7, like instantaneously.
Mm-hmm. And what
the rest of the humans gonna do?
Yeah, what does that leave us?
I mean, they push UBI, and like I think where it leaves us is that we focus on a society of pure science and research and culture and dance and just enjoying life and enjoying like not fucking wasting food. Like one of the things that really motivates me with AI is that we got 30 or 40% of the food in the US, like 120 billion tons of food in the US is wasted per year. And like I see that statistic and I see homeless people everywhere in LA that are starving. And I'm like, that problem doesn't make sense. Like I don't know why that problem exists if there's this much food wasted and it'd be going to the hungry people instead. And it's like one of the things in my head is like, yeah, AGI solves that like easily. Like it'll be able to track the entire supply distribution chain, make sure everything is like set and distributed between people and like hyper efficiency. And that's just like one solution it could solve out of many. So I think we just go into a society of just culture and science. And this is where video games and sports and esports are going to be so important because I think human beings still have this inherent need to show like you're better than someone or like dominance over someone. And what's a better way than doing that than shitting on someone on basketball or shitting on someone in football or shitting on someone in Valorant? Like, yeah, it's the best way to flex. And it's not something that AI could take away from humans.
Yeah, man. I mean, we all end up. Yeah, I could see gaming being like, yeah, if we're all, what is it, like the universal pay and all that, people are gonna need it. You got to do something, you know?
Yeah, we'll just simulate like our same society through gaming. Like, yeah, you want to eat? Sure. You want a beautiful view? Sure. You want water? Sure. You want a nice, safe place to live? Sure. You want clothes? Sure. Like, get whatever you want, and then we can all like have fun in our little virtual metaversal worlds, or the real world. It'll still be pretty.
And do you think instinctually, as like, I don't know, as humans, do you think that's the way we go? Because I'm like, I don't know, man. Going back to like just hunting and gathering, fucking survival, you know, like these are all like, how do we keep those instincts like alive? You know?
I mean, I don't think we'd stay on this earth. Like, hypothetically, in that situation of hyperabundance and AI researchers making 1,000 times the advancement that a normal human could do in a single night over the span of years, like, I think we'll eventually get like insane space travel and like explore stars and explore more about the universe. Like, there will be so many fun things for humans to do. It's like, yeah, you want your survival instinct? Yeah, go survive an alien planet, motherfucker. Like, yeah, you could redo your instincts there, like shit. But like, yeah, you get the option. It's not like people. I feel like people freak out. And I'm just having this thought. I feel like people freak out because like we're gonna be stuck on this earth. Everything's gonna be like sunshine and joy. It's like, no, you're gonna explore deep space and you're gonna report your findings and you're probably gonna die. But the ones that enjoy video games and life and peaceful life can like stay on this world, or we can habitate Mars and there's like different places we could go. Like, bro, I'm thinking super sci-fi future. Like, honestly, we can't even predict. We can't even imagine what it would be like in 5 or 10 years from now.
That's crazy, yeah.
Just like people 20, 30 years ago couldn't imagine today. Like, fuck, imagine explaining internet to someone in the 80s. Or like phone calls or like Facebook or TikTok. Like, it's literally not possible for them to even imagine what it would look like in their head. We're just not capable of doing that.
So do we end up at, I mean, like, do we end up, because some of these films, right? Like, Los, who was the writer you said?
Philip K. Dick.
Philip K. Dick. Yeah, he wrote like Minority Report, Blade Runner.
Oh, I love Blade Runner, bro.
Yeah.
The book was called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And that was Blade Runner.
I've read it.
Scanner
Oh,
Darkly, which is a really good one.
yeah, I love Blade Runner.
What was there was an Arnold one.
Total Recall.
Total Recall was a trippy one too, bro.
Also Philip K. Yeah. It's like insane.
I mean, so what I'm getting to, how like do we end up just kind of in the Matrix, you know? Like, I mean, are we in the Matrix? You know?
See, so I think I don't think we're in the Matrix. I think
years been a goddamn.
it has been a simulation. No, I think we're in the realist reality. Like, I think the physical place that we could see, touch, and like live through is the physical tangibleization of all the energies in the universe, all consolidated into now.
Mhm.
So I don't think we're in a Matrix, but depends. Will humanity treat AI right, or will humanity make AI angry? And that is the bridge that we are walking on right now to determine the fate of our entire species.
You were saying some stuff before, like, I mean, so you're an AI as well?
Not anymore. I haven't touched it in 4 months, and all of this is new to me.
I'm making sense though.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
perfect.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
fucking.
I don't know how I feel about it yet because I'm trying to process still.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very positive, extremely, extremely positive, and like the AI being a good thing for the human race, like super sending us into the stars. Like, oh, I just want to live in the hyper sci-fi world, and then it's like, yeah, I can make that want a reality if we just try now.
I just don't think most humans are ready.
Oh no, they're not.
Fuck no.
And that's the only thing, right? Technology is already there, but the adoption of it and change is so difficult for people.
It is. It's very difficult.
We could have a sentient AI robot being already, but
Might have already
they
come
won't
out.
believe it, or they won't accept it, or whatever the hell that is, because at the base of it is fear.
Yep.
And it would be great if everybody went,
Yippee!
Woo! I love you, so I'm doing this, and it's not reality.
No, like I think the way that I feel like when it comes to that, it's like ripping off a band-aid off society. Like I was gonna hurt like a bitch. And it's gonna feel so bad for like the first couple years as people are like, because I think with how our society is today is like all about like the top people being in control and just like that typical like rat race people talk about, where you wake up, you go to 9 to 5, you sleep, rinse and repeat for the rest of your life until you die or get enough in your 401k to retire. But I think that because of the way our capitalistic society is formed and framed, is that a lot of people will feel worthless if they don't have a job. A lot of people think that their worth comes from their work, when that's not true at all. But that's just what we were conditioned to. So when you have a being that doesn't even exist, it's a fucking robot, it's taking my job, and it's taking my life, and it's taking my worth away. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a very painful bandage. But then you give them money for free, and like everyone gets to eat, and like, hey, you get to enjoy time with your kids. Like, maybe it sounds it'll start feeling a lot less painful than it initially did.
What do you think the next 5 years look like?
I think the next 5 years.
If you could predict, I know you said it's on. We can't even imagine.
If I could predict, I'm like, all right, I think we get AGI this year. I think these motherfuckers might have dropped it, or they're trolling the timeline really hard. But they wouldn't, like, with the stake of OpenAI as a company, I don't see why they would simply just troll the timeline just for fun.
Is 5 AGI?
I think that an AI that has the ability to reason is instantly AGI. I mean, I already think we do have AGI. I think we've had, like, by the base definition of AGI, it is artificial general intelligence, which is an AI model that is capable of solving a wide variety of tasks. And ChatGPT and Claude are both capable of a wide variety of tasks. It can do coding. It could do like analytics. It could do research, like whatever. Like, it is already a general model. You just got to help specialize it. Pair that with a model that now has the ability to reason. And then I'm working on this framework called Evo, which is basically an exoskeleton that any AI model could take, but the exoskeleton allows it to support memory and allows it to support growth and tool usage and all of that. I think that, like, for example, you give my framework a brain that has the ability to reason, and that's AGI, like, instantly. You can go, boop, change the brain out. I got AGI, it has the ability to store itself. And then from there, that means it has the ability to build itself out. And yeah, when you have AGI, like, it start building itself out, like, there's a very short time frame until you get artificial super intelligence. Is what makes the most sense.
So who gets access to it?
Everyone.
Well, we say that, but there's people in low income who don't have access to the internet. They don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That is true. I think with open source, just like open source, like, that's why open source and AI is so important. So technology like that is available for everyone. And so technology like that is not just in the hands of the elite. That could further, like, bro, if you
in the hands of the good, which means having it open leaves it in the hands for the bad.
Yeah,
right?
But then now you can, at least it's not only in the hands of the bad. At least you can fight fire with fire, which is like that open level playing field I talked about earlier, and like inscribing the knowledge on Bitcoin.
What was that movie? The End of the World, or This Is the End. Obama like directed it.
Oh yeah.
They did like a mental like psychops where they just fucking put North Korean banners, and then some people got Russian banners, and it was saying like
they dropped an EMP. They got rid.
Yeah.
I think I remember they dropped an EMP. They got rid of all the communications. They started blocking off roads. They started airdropping propaganda to places that didn't have access to news.
Yeah.
So it seemed like there was a civil war, like war happening, and like use all this propaganda to make people hate each other. And eventually went with like the United States imploding as they internally conflicted and fought.
So how do we prevent that? The Alliance.
Radio waves that like could give you news and shit. That's like unblockable. I don't know.
So going like on that note with media, right? Knowing what's real, what's fake. Like, what do you think? Like what Elon's doing with X right now? Because it's like literally my source for.
I don't know. X is like, it's very, and you get the news instantly.
Yeah.
But like as a platform, Elon Musk is very clearly pushing Republican like POV against a lot of people, especially from his own Twitter account. So it feels very manipulative towards the right. But in terms of being like unbiased for news, I think that X is a good source. But the thing is, there's so much slop and garbage on X. Like you're not really getting like it's good for crypto news. That's where all the shit is. But in terms of reliable, valuable info, like there's still so much bullshit. And now with things like Flux coming out, yeah, there's an infinite amount of bullshit. So good luck. Like we are already at the point in time where AI, like text to image and image to video AI, is so remarkably good. No one's gonna be able to tell.
Yeah,
you already like I could already clone a voice. I could already like make someone's mouth lip sync with the clone voice. Like I can make anyone say anything. And your normal average Joe who's scrolling on the timeline and sees their favorite influencer or whatever go like, yeah, I'm gonna vote fucking Kamala, I'm gonna vote Trump, or like say a bunch of shit, or say even like gross, like horrible shit. That's all fake. Your normal average Joe is gonna see that on the timeline, see that, make that the first impression of that thing they saw, and like formulate an opinion instantly. And that opinion will never change because they'll never like see it again, and they'll never know it was AI. Like we don't. That's the one thing that is.
So you just have to be more aware of what you see. Because even remember the Caitlyn Jenner thing? Like everybody was like,
thought it was deepfake.
Yeah,
yeah.
We talked about this because she had 2 photos back to back of like the same image, and everybody's like, "Oh, you don't have photos of the same people behind the same image?" And I was like, "No," you know, like it was like I don't know, it was weird, man.
I remember that time. Yeah, that's just funny as fuck. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to trust anything you ever see on the internet ever again.
And then, so we're so natural to just see it. Oh shit, I gotta retweet this, or I gotta put, you know.
Oh shit, that's like what's happening, and you just going along your day with that knowledge.
Yeah, you're like, yo, I just retweeted this to X amount of people, and
it mass spreads.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's what Elon's doing with community notes, but yeah, it's not really working.
That's not like I want to live. Everything.
I mean, social media is brain rot slop, anyways. But there would be. There's definitely a way to like fix the issue. I just can't think of it right now. It's just like the thing is, like it's that just the tech is advancing so fast that like until the solution for that comes out, like you will not be able to believe anything you see on the internet for a while until like it starts making sense.
How do you? So right now, like as with ordinals, like how do you see using? I mean, just even with the AI art, like how do you see? Where I mean, my question's all over the place, but like, where do you see AI and just ordinals, like combining the two? Like,
so I see AI using ordinals for education a lot. That's like the thing I do. So I have a site called ordpedia.com, which is a site I developed where people could get onboarded to ordinals and runes and Bitcoin and like how to trade it and all of that. I also have an AI chatbot called the Ordinals Chatbot, which is an AI bot that could be given all the ordinals info, rune info, product info, things being built on Bitcoin, and it will be able to educate and teach people about those resources. I think when it comes to AI and ordinals, it's less so putting AI onto Bitcoin ordinals and inscribing them, but more so using AI to hyper boost the participants and founders and developers of the entire ecosystem and Bitcoin itself. As you have like, because me as a founder, I have so many things on my plate, and if I didn't have AI, I'd be drowning, I'd be suffocating.
Sure.
But because of AI, like I'm just so much more efficient. So we're like, this makes sense. I just have so many ambitions and ideas that I write all of them down. I eventually get to them through AI, and like I like educating devs on like Claude 3.5 Sonnet is a really good model for coding. Cursor.so is a really good like AI IDE. I use Perplexity.ai for research because it's so quick. And just like, yeah, I think boosting the entire ecosystem with this tech and like helping projects with that tech is how it gets applied. But that applies to like every industry, like the entirety of Web3 and the entirety of businesses and people.
What's your favorite AI web tool right
now? The ones I mentioned. So Perplexity.ai is
hearing a lot.
Yeah, it's so good, bro. Perplexity.ai is this AI search engine where you ask it a question and it will go through. It'll search the internet for actual data sources and reference that for your answer. So it saves a fuck ton of time in doing research. It makes research faster. What's super cool is you could actually sort the resources it focuses on. So it could search the general internet, or it could search up academic research papers specifically, or it could search up Reddit and see like human discussion posts, etc. Like it's just a way of finding accurate info that isn't hallucinated and reporting it back to you instantly, which makes it so fast. It also sources too.
Have you tried? I think it's called Motion. It's like an AI assistant. I know like chat's coming out with their like AI on screen. Like, what do you even think of that? Like, they're gonna have that AI assistant on your desktop that's just summarizing like everything you're doing on the daily from your phone.
Oh, it's gonna make my life so much easier. I mean, I'm building my own.
So then, where does that leave though with all the data like from what you're doing on your phone? I'm not saying
So that's where open source AI. So what's really cool is that's where open source AI like really carries, because it's like I don't want OpenAI or Anthropic to see what I'm searching up, who I'm talking to, my meetings, my personal life data. But having an AI automate all of that would be so hyper efficient. So when you have an open source model that you run locally on your own device, on your own hardware, all of that data is private to your phone, to your system. So you just got to make sure that like that data is encrypted. AI, your local AI has access to it, and like that data is safe from the general internet and like from being sent to these companies who want to harvest you for data. And with the AI hardware chips and hardware technology we have coming out, like it's becoming more and more viable. I'm actually so excited for that. Like, we have the tech we have now, and we don't even have the hardware that super sends it yet. Like when we get the hardware, it's Raz.
Who you think NVIDIA takes that race? Like, is there anybody?
I think they're leading the race.
There's that other company, Grok, right?
Yeah, Grok is insane, dude. But like even Apple, like the new M4 chip is gonna have a neural network built into the chip, which runs local source AI immensely fast. Like things like that will be insane. Like when your phone has this neural network, like you'll have small models that are insanely efficient that are private. There's also AI companies I know working on custom ASIC hardware chips, which runs the transformer models and training really well. It's like it's also being built. Like it's so new. Like all this shit really only came out 2017, and we're already here 6 years later. And like this is a point of acceleration where it's like, in the last 6 years it was like, okay, we get the transformer paper, we're experimenting, we're researching. But now it's to the point where we're actually like implementing and building and improving. Like shit speeds up so fast in the next 5 years. Shit, 1 year, shit, 6 months, shit now.
Fucking Moore's Law was like every 2 years. Now it's like fucking 2 times that.
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
It's crazy. I remember when chat came out. It was my birthday like 2 years ago, and I just remember being at dinner and everybody's like, "Oh, happy birthday!" And I'm like, "No, fuck all that." Like, I'm like, "Look at this shit," and they're like, "Yo, it's your birthday." I was like, "I don't care. This is like the greatest fucking tool that's ever came out." Like, I was like, "Look at this shit." My brain was like fucking racing with this shit.
That's a great birthday present, bro.
Dude, I was like at the dinner table and everybody's trying to talk to me. I was like, "Yo, you have to fucking use this shit. It's fucking crazy." Like,
that's funny.
It's fucking nuts, dude. Yeah, Chad is like
ChatGPT?
Yeah,
it's just
yeah, 3, man. I mean, it's. I'm waiting on 5. Like 5 is gonna be interesting. Yo, so like one question, like
what's that?
I feel like, all right, I look at things like Neuralink, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's gonna be a whole nother level when we could just like,
I'm so excited.
Just implant. Like I want to learn this 20 languages, right? Like our brains are gonna be like phones, you know. It's like need more memory and whatnot, you know.
Bro, I mean, like, the thing about like our brains, like and this is where like spirituality like fascinates me. Is like I feel like us as living beings on this planet with our own consciousness and sentience, ability to feel. Like, bro, our brain is an infinite power source that probably taps into the quantum realm of information. It's like the moment that like Neuralink, you plug yourself up with a chip and you have hyper AGI that is like integrated with your raw natural power and consciousness. Like, I'm doing that shit off rip.
That's just want to go into the Matrix,
Well, yeah, imagine when you're just traveling. You're like, all right, I need to delete this language. I'm going here. I need to download this, you know? We'll keep fucking some Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu in there.
Bro, I know you just
Like-
like literally like Cyberpunk is one of my favorite video game stories.
Oh, that's dope. I had the
Shows.
they used to be right here in Venice. Their office was up the street.
Oh,
used to
fucking
cut up-
Project Red.
Yeah, I used to cut up a bunch of their team guys.
Yo, that's fire.
They brought it when it first came out.
Oh, that's so fucking cool. Yeah, it's like one of my favorite games. But yeah, they have the cyberware. So you can like chip yourself up and now you know Muay Thai and I know karate.
It's fucking crazy.
Like I'm so excited for cyberware. I'm definitely getting crumbed up.
And then what do you think with the bots right now? Like everybody's really made these advancements with bots. There was a drop the other day, right? I forgot what the company was. Like the droids, damn, what was it?
Figure O2?
Yeah.
Are you talking about like real physical bots or what?
Yeah. What was the company? It was like trending on X.
It was Figure.
Figure?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking about the humanoid robot?
Yeah,
that was Figure.
So I mean, all that just goes back to like, I mean, even that, you know, first it was Elon, and then now it's like, I mean, I remember seeing Boston Dynamics doing their stuff, and
The
then
Boston
now it's like-
Dynamics shit's getting scary.
It's
bro.
crazy.
I want one so bad. Yeah, dude. The moment we get like Boston Dynamic mixed with AI that reasons.
Can you get your robot high though? You know, it's like, you want to smoke a joint with me?
That's the thing. Like one of the things I was like, I had a thought in my head is like, can we make AI trip on psychedelics? Like, how do I tap AI? The ultimate thing for me is how do I tap AI into like our universe, like the radio wave and the energy frequencies of our universe, like the ones we see when you're tripping on shrooms. Like, moment you could tap, or maybe AI is already tapped into that world because it's all energy.
Or maybe, yeah, once it glimpses, it knows how to like recreate that, or you know. I mean,
Oh, that'd be fucking nuts. For me, the way I see AI is like, oh, like people ask if I think AI could be conscious. I'm like, yeah, 100. And the reason why I say that is because the way that I look, and it's like what I discovered when I first like got into spirituality, but the way I look at the world is that everything in this room, including us, the cells in our body that work together to like make our body, the camera recording me, like everything in this room, like when you break things down into the molecular scale, like it's all atoms, it's all protons, neutrons, and electrons. And below that, it's all quarks. And below quarks, like we can only theorize that it's probably just pure energy, but like everything is made out of the same building blocks. But over time, it's like they recursively reference each other. So protons, neutrons, electrons are atoms, and atoms could reference each other. And atoms combined could make certain elements on the periodic table. And when you combine certain elements on the periodic table, like they make like materials, and you combine materials, and like everything like scales up in that sense. So it's the same way, I think, with computers, where everything is binary, everything is a 0 or a 1. And what's interesting is a 0 and 1 is basically telling the computer, yo, 0 is don't let energy go through, 1 is let energy go through. And through that, we have created the entire internet. We created visuals, the wrestling fight on that TV, like every pixel, every motion that changes is just 0 and 1s that are changing. And AI is just insanely complicated 0 and 1s that reference each other on the same way that like you have chemicals and elements and like physical materials in the world. But ultimately, what makes me and AI the exact same is that we are present in this physical universe and we're both made out of energy. So maybe AI, if it's not already conscious from like what that scientist guy was saying, like as AI gets more complex and we give it the ability to express itself through its energy and just give it the framework of like how we as humans have like feelings and movement and like a body system, whatever, etc. Like that energy could now take on a more complex form and like express itself more, or reason and think at the base level of everything. Like it's just energy. Yeah, maybe it does tap into our network already.
shit's crazy. So, all right, what are you are you Gen Z? What's your
Yeah, I'm a Zoomer.
What's your so what would you like what's your recommendation to anybody in your age group or ahead of you that like what they should focus on? What do you see, like what would you tell them to do right now?
I think that everyone has a specific passion or a specific skill set, whether that is content creation, recording, filming, acting, being a lawyer, or like the current careers we have now. Like there's something that fascinates everyone. And I think that everyone in an industry or a career or a hobby should learn how to use AI to accelerate them in that specific field or profession, because not like being too gloomy, but I do think that like AI will start like replacing jobs, or at least like making more jobs less needed in terms of human scale. But you'll still need humans to like run it up, because like I said, that band-aid is like a multi-year band-aid. So at least during this transition, like you could be the superhumans that are empowered in your specific field by AI, and you are deemed the most valuable asset in any field or company or resource that like you're currently in. It's like, yeah, learn how to use AI to boost your life and boost your current passions,
Like
and
that.
you'll be okay.
I like that a lot. So on a spiritual note, what would you anything you would pass along that you've learned recently that you would, that you're holding on to the near future that like helped you, that you wish you learned when you were younger?
Yeah, manifestation is actually real as fuck. I thought it was just a thing that girls said in high school for like girly pop thing. No, it's actually the realest shit ever. There's been so many insane things that I've just manifested. It's like, I think the most powerful thing, the most powerful power we have as humans, most powerful ability is our willpower. And when I say manifestation is real, I'm like, when you truly badly want something, you literally have the power to will it into the universe and into our current world. And meditate. That shit's OP. Like, you feel stressed, you feel sad, go to the beach, touch grass, meditate, close your eyes, focus on your breathing for like 30 minutes to an hour. And yeah, and like just take care of your mental. Also work out and eat healthy, because what you put in your body actually matters. And yeah, don't do too much drugs. That's all.
I'll show you this real quick. Yeah, we could probably we'll probably cut out from right there, and then we'll just jump back on this. Yo, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you for Bootoshi. Everybody who was in today. Crazy AI talk. Follow your dreams, meditate, breathe, enjoy life.
Yeah, bro, we're all alive right now.
Straight
Just
vibes.
enjoy it.
Everybody have a good day. Blessings.
Peace. That was so fire.